Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of VisionAir Talks. In this series, I sit down with some of the most creative and influential artists in the balloon world to talk about their journey, their ideas, and the mindset behind their work. Today's guest is someone who entered the balloon world recently, but quickly built a very recognizable artistic voice. His sculptures are often described as weird balloon art, unexpected, experimental, and pushing the boundaries of what balloons can become. Beyond creating sculptures, he's also the developer of BalloonBuilder, a powerful digital tool that is changing the way balloon artists design and plan their creations. Please welcome balloon artist and developer Juho Hokkanen. Hello, Yahoo! How are you, my friend?
Hello, all good here.
It's so nice to have you here in VisionAir Talks with us, and I'm so honored that you are here. And I have to say that I'm admiring your work. You are one of the best artists in the world for me, and I really appreciate that you are here with us.
Thank you very much. I'm more than happy to be here. Super
Th-
honored to be here.
I'm very glad. So my first question, it's not a question, it's like I want, if you can, in some words, to introduce yourself for the viewers that not familiar with you, if you can.
Yes, so I'm Juho Hokkanen from Finland. I'm actually very close to uh, the Lapland. This is uh, almost at the home of Santa Claus. So I'm uh, like there are not too many balloon artists around here. So I've been doing balloons quite a lot on my own, and I'm probably I've been doing a lot of different kind of balloon work until 2018. I only did it just for fun, and for now I'm doing balloon decorations and some software development and all that kind of stuff now. But yeah.
Of course, we will discuss about everything. So my first question is, you are kind of fresh in our industry, comparing to other artists. Can you take us, please, to the moment when you realized this is going to be my career for the rest of my life or for the future?
Yes, so basically it all started by an accident, kind of like back in 2014, I think was the first time I touched a balloon. I was doing 60-hour work at as a COO in a pharmaceutical company, and I was really heading towards burnout. And I happened to grab a few bags of balloons with my kids, and that's where it started. So uh, I did it for like 4 or 5 years. I just did some balloons every once in a while, and then it started to fade. Like the interest started to fade, and then I realized I got into like found the technical side of balloons. And since I'm a scientist, the technical side was really interesting. I really got into studying the techniques, and while trying to reverse engineer some other techniques, I went I found out some new techniques on that journey, and that went until 2018. I was still working as a scientist, and I decided to quit my job, and I had 2 months of gap in between, and I was thinking what I will do, and I decided that okay, I will go for balloons and do those as my main income from now on. And I put together a balloon decoration company and started doing that ever since.
That's amazing story. A really amazing story. So I familiar with your art because I attended to Twist and Shout 2 years ago, I think, last year,
Yeah,
and I saw your techniques, your artistic voice. You have very recognizable artistic voice. Um, uh, some people called it a weird balloon art.
yeah.
My question is um, how you developed your language, your own way of balloon art.
Well, yes, like I said, the technical side was the starting point for my like really that got me into the balloons like really deeply. And the technical side was the one thing that really pushed me, and I really started exploring what I can do with balloons and what kind of techniques there are already. And if I wanted to create something like a really realistic small piece, I wanted to create or I needed some specific technique for that I couldn't do if I wanted to just do it with balloons. I couldn't do it with the current like tools that I had in my head. So I sometimes spent just days to solve a simple, like a really small problem, and spent hours and hours and just focused on that one small thing. And I think that's the way. That's the reason why have my special kind of uh, language with balloons. But that the
Is it
technical.
was it intentional or just evolved over time?
I guess the interest for me, like in the beginning, but it was not really that much in art, but it was more in the techniques. So I just started doing the technical side and tried to create something that was looking fun. I didn't really think about balloon art so much at point. I was just trying to create something fun and something to clear my head and so on. But then after some time, I realized, okay, now I have plenty of tools in my toolbox, and I can really start creating something useful and something less useful, but something that other people also seem to appreciate. So I started getting a lot of great feedback from other balloon artists, especially, and yeah, I think that's how it started basically. So it
It's
started
amazing.
from yeah.
It's amazing when I am thinking about that. I saw your class. I attended to your class, and I saw there the technique with the heart, with the spike that coming through the heart to the other side. It was really crazy for me. I was in shock how things like this can happen. But more for me, the great question was more like. How we did it, how we thought about this kind of technique specifically for putting a spike inside balloon. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that was someone sometimes they had seen my work, and I don't remember exactly what kind of things we were talking about online, on Facebook, probably like almost 10 years ago. And that person was just saying out loud that, okay, it would be so cool to make a tunnel through a balloon. And that's it. That discussion was it. I just like maybe 1 or 2 days later, I just started thinking there is a way. There has to be a way. And then
Wow.
that it took probably 1 or 2 days to actually manage to do that tunnel through the balloon first time. Yeah.
Amazing. So quickly. That's crazy. It's really unique. So when you want to build a new sculpture, what happened first for you in your head? You think about the technique or other things to make a sculpture.
Well, it's definitely both. But I think before I usually started by thinking about the different techniques I need to use to create something. But now it's more like I want to first have a design in my head at least. I don't always create image, or I don't basically draw anything on paper. I use my digital tools, or I just create the design in my head and then start building it. But nowadays it's more like I have the big picture, and then the small details come along when I start building it. And the techniques are just tools now. So I don't think about the techniques really that much anymore, but I just use them when I need a specific tool. Just take that one technique and that's it.
You thinking more like an engineer or like an artist, a sculptor
I
kind of.
think I think it depends a little bit on what I'm building, but I guess it's more like an architect probably than engineer.
Wow, amazing. That's really really unique because for me, I'm trying all the time to watch other artists, the way how they think and how they think about new techniques for our industry. And you are one of the greatest artists that actually invented new techniques in our world.
Yes, there are many artists who have come up with the techniques, and probably some of the techniques that I think I've come up are something that someone in some corner of the world has already come up before. But it's impossible to know all the original inventors, especially when you are working alone and just maybe you see a picture of some sculpture, a balloon sculpture or something else, and then you start thinking about that and forget completely where you saw that, or that you may even have seen that before, and then just something in your brain combines some information and you come up with something that you think is new. Of course, some of the things that I've come up with are completely new, but many of them are just like combination of different techniques that are already there.
That's amazing. You're also very humble, like because for me, I didn't know, and I had my research. I didn't find an artist that making your ideas before. There are some techniques that quite similar, but not the exact thing. And for me, it's really great to see these techniques and to try to use them. And I try to use them in my designs. Some of them I succeeded, but some of them not. But yeah, it's very beautiful. Sorry, I'm trying to find my exact words. It's very beautiful to watch the process when you start a new design or a new technique until you finish it, until you have the final result, and it looks good and like you planned.
Yeah, that's like it's so like that's the thing that brings you the joy. That's why I did it for many years just alone, because I enjoyed that I was able to solve the problem that I had in the beginning. So yeah, that's the
Uh,
thing. Being even if it's maybe a small sculpture that fits in your hand, palm of your hand, or it can be a huge sculpture like with thousands of balloons.
I
The
remembered that in the last, not the last, last year in Twist and Shout, when I attended to your class, you show there the technique with the Mickey Mouse head. I think it was to connect the ear to the head without any glue, without any external materials. um what attracts you to go to this direction, to the hard uh kind of hard way to connect things and to use the balloons? Why not using glue? Why not using other materials?
well, that was basically, there are a few reasons for that. The biggest reason for that was just to challenge myself, just to like that forced me to come up with some new things. So of course it would have been easier to glue two balloons together than create a connection that is invisible, or that you can now, for the buttons, that you can really connect two balloons and then disconnect them and connect them again. Yeah, mostly it was just because of the challenge in it. So yeah.
That's truly unique quality in an artist, in artists, to challenge ourselves all the time. Try to put limits, or not limits, like goals, to ourselves, and to try to reach them. And it's amazing to see that you are there all the time.
Yeah, I would say that that kind of challenging is useful when you do it for fun. But when you are really like doing it for work and you need to do things fast, you don't have that much time to come up with new things actively. Of course, sometimes you may come up with something new just by accident, but not on purpose.
You said that for many years you just experienced and tried new techniques in your home, alone.
Yeah.
Um, how did it period of time influence the way you create today?
Um, well, uh, I don't know honestly how it affects to me right now. Of course, I still do like probably 99% of the work with balloons alone. So I design my sculptures in a way that I can build them as fast as possible when I'm on site. And I build my balloon decorations usually like the small details in my workshop, and then the bigger balloons are inflated on site and built there, depending on the situation, of course. But I think the difficult thing for me is that when working with balloons, I am not that used to work in, or like work with other people like in daily work. So for example, when I go to a convention, that's always a really like amazing experience when you've been doing balloons like 1 year in a row all alone, basically. Just the client work, what have you been ordered from you, and now you go to a convention where you can just go into jam room and spend some time with the other balloon artists. So that's really great. That's the place where I like go back to my early days as a balloon artist. So I start experimenting again, and I don't have pressure to create something big or small. It doesn't really matter. I can just go and experiment and share my knowledge and get knowledge from others.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, in your other hat, as a balloon artist, you also a developer of a unique program called the BalloonBuilder. Um, so, my question is, what was the problem you tried to figure or to personally figure it when you build that software?
Well, that has been a software that I've been planning for several years and doing it for several years. And the initial idea was to just create a tool for my own website that would be easy for my clients to design the colors for balloon art or balloon column or something very simple, but with the 3D view, so they could see how it actually looks when you, for example, choose a chrome or reflex color in the balloon column. You would see that, okay, this is shiny color, and then there is the other standard colors and so on. So that was the initial idea. But then after some time, I really I started to design my own work using that software like 1 year ago or so. And I realized that this is really useful for also other people. And then the challenge from going to my own tool that I was basically at that point I was doing just for myself. And it was really complicated to use. I knew how to use it, but it was really difficult for others to understand what to do with it. So the biggest challenge was to go from that point to the point where we are now, that it is fairly easy to use and it can create a lot of cool things.
It's amazing program, amazing software. I experienced it a lot at the last time. And it's amazing to hear that you planned just this software for yourself, and then what happened that you thought to yourself, okay, I'm going to take it publicly to all the balloon artists to start to sell it to the community?
Well, probably the reason was that I saw many people they needed that kind of software. So it's partially because of the AI. So I saw a lot of AI images that were used for marketing, and it's fine to create AI images, and it's okay, but just it was kind of annoying to see that the very simple things were created using AI. But I just thought that, okay, I have a tool that can do this exactly the way you want, and I can do it very quickly. I don't need to ask AI to create the image. I can just simply click a button and get the 3D image. And yeah, I think that was one of the reasons that led to going public with the software.
You developed it by yourself, or you have a team of developer? You are a developer by yourself?
I would say it's mostly by me. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So you know how to work with software before you have been a balloon artist, or at the time you
Yeah.
are a balloon artist.
Yeah. I've been doing for the 3D part, I've been doing 3D designing for like a little bit more than 10 years. So that's also one part of that program. So understanding how to go from 2D to 3D and what are the necessities behind that. But I also have some experience on programming. Back in the day, I've been doing like websites and all that stuff like 25 years ago, probably the first ones, and then yeah, I've been doing some programming for like 25 years.
Wow, amazing. That's truly amazing. Uh, so how do you think these kind of tools, these kind of softwares like the Balloon Builder will affect the industry, the future, with all the technology that we have?
Well, of course, it depends on the user. For some artists or decorators, it probably helps to create the design. Some of us, like I'm myself, I very often I design for example, balloon sculptures. I design it just in my head, and I don't write anything on paper because I often create the design on the fly. So when I start building, I understand that, okay, the next layer of balloons needs to be a little bit smaller than I initially thought. So I just decrease the size on the fly and go all on when I build it. But for some people, it's easier to have the exact recipe ready when they start building. So that's one thing. So they basically design everything and draw the sizes, and especially when you are working with a team, so you don't do it alone. You need the instructions for the whole team to actually bring it together. So you can't have the design only in your head. So
I want to first say to our viewers that I really recommend this software. It's really completely amazing, saving a lot of time. I build my one of my designs lately with this software. It saved me tons of time of calculating how much balloons I will need, or what is the exact size. And it's even this is a genius software because you put there the option to click which kind of pump I will use, and how many how what is the exact number I should put on the machine. It's insane. It's crazy.
yeah,
It's something really special, and I really recommend everyone that wants to save time and to work easily with balloons to buy this software.
yeah, the main purpose is to really save time. That's how I use it mostly. For I don't have I don't have the recipes of balloon columns with different sizes in my anywhere over here. I have them in my head, and if I need to create something very quick on the fly, I take my phone, I go to balloonbuilder.com and just click 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 and check. Okay, yeah, okay, the sizing this. I can see how it changes the shape of the sculpture when I say change the size of singular layer to something else and so on. So yeah, that's the way I use it. I actually use probably more on my phone than on PC, but it's easier to use on PC, of course. But yeah,
It's amazing the way you can take a real photo for logo or whatever, uh, to just put it on the software, click one button, and you have you choose the what kind of wall do you want, and it's building you in 1 second the entire wall with all the colors, with all the sizes. It's completely amazing. I'm really amazed uh, about this software and how it's easy to work with.
Yeah, and now you can actually build many of the walls so that you can actually create the second image on the backside. If you have a wall, you have the front side and the back side. You can, for example, duplex square pack wall. You can create the one image on the one side and the second image on the other side, and you have all the instructions so that you have the each balloon and pair that you need to inflate, and you get the
That's
information from
really
there.
amazing. That's crazy. All the time we trying to save time and to think how we can calculate right the right balloons, and to build double wall with different patterns was completely kind of impossible because you need to calculate each balloon and where to put it. It's really crazy. And with your software, it's 2 seconds. It's something really unique.
Yeah,
And I really
of
want,
course, it still takes a few hours to build the wall, but yeah,
of course, there is the work itself, but now it's easy.
yeah,
It saves you the 15 hours become 8 hours or
yeah,
six with this
yeah.
software. It's so so amazing. So you are a balloon artist and a developer. Uh, how you change the way of thinking when you are, or you don't need to change anything when you think about the when you want to build a design or you want to develop something in the software. Is there is it the same way of thinking, or it's separate? You putting yourself in one hat, and when you want the other hat, you put it when you need it.
Well, there are similarities, yes, but I think the the thing itself is so different. So when you are inflating balloons, you you do your work with your hands more than you do with your brain, basically, when you are building. Of course, if you design on the fly, you will use your brain and your hands at the same time. So, but when you are doing software development, you only need to use your brain. You just click and write something, but you don't really work physically. So that's the biggest difference probably. Otherwise, the work it's really similar for me. I think uh, basically when you are building your balloon art, balloon sculpture, the techniques you use are basically the code you use for the software. That's great. I think that's the connection there. And the balloons are just the physical medium, and the code is just not non-physical. But I guess when you have a problem with your balloon sculpture, you can usually see the problem very easily. Okay, there is a problem over here. This is what I need to fix, and change the sizing or something to change the shape of the sculpture. So this is what I need to modify. But with software development, you change one thing over here, and there is something over here that is messed up. So you are fixing one thing and you are breaking something else. So this is the problem. It's sometimes very difficult to find the problem that is caused by solving another problem.
For you, what is harder to do to um, build a new design in your software or physically by hands?
Well, if you mean like building a new functionality in the software or building a new sculpture, I
Yeah.
guess I guess building a sculpture is easier. Building a new functionality for the software is sometimes you may need to try like tens of times to really get the things working the way you are. You have a vision in your mind, but the code just is not working the way you would want it to do. So it sometimes takes a little bit of time and more tinkering than with balloons.
That's amazing. Okay, so I want you to take us to a moment. Uh, let's say it like this. Looking back to the past, um, there was a one project that really represents you as an artist.
Well, um, I think I would go to quite to the beginning of my balloon work, like maybe 1.5 years after I had touched my first balloon back in 2016. I think there was still these Qualatex Color Quest competitions where you created a design and took photos, and that was an online competition. So back then I created a helicopter using only latex balloons, and it had windows and it had lima twisted parts, and it was really like a combination of different techniques. And that was that was maybe not the best sculpture I've ever created, but the one that I'm probably most proud of because it was so new for me. So I think that was probably one of the first really like aims to go to realistic balloon art. And that was really was so cool to have it. Like I popped so many balloons. It was almost finished like 10 times. And then something small breaks and you have to start all over again. So when I finally, like, probably in the morning, I spent probably the whole night doing that. And in the morning, you finally have it. And oh, now I have to take the photos and quickly click, click. And then,
It's happening
yeah,
all the time for all of us. I think
yeah,
to try to build something, and then you are on the last balloon or last bubble, and then something popped, and you need to do it again and again and again. But this is
yeah,
what build us as an artist, as professionals, to try again and again, and don't quit, never
yeah,
quit.
yeah. And that's also like for me, with while playing with all the techniques and really pushing the balloons to their extreme limits, it gives you the knowledge that you know that when the balloon will pop, if I will do this, it will pop. So especially when doing decorations, you know that if you need to do something like for the face, for example, for sculpture face, you need to do a specific shape of balloon. You know how far you can go that the sculpture will still stay together. If you do a big sculpture and you mess up with the face, that like the face just pops after 30 minutes, the whole thing is completely messed up. So you need to know how far you can go and then take a step back, and that's it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Finally, um, looking not back, looking ahead to the future. Um, how do you see? Where do you see um, the balloon world? Um, or what excites you more about the future of balloon art?
Well, I think the progress and like the more and more realistic large sculptures that are created all around the world are really awesome, amazing, cool, new techniques and everything are created all the time, especially for decorations. Uh, so that's probably the thing that is really exciting to see, that balloons are really like used the way I like. So I really enjoy seeing those great, amazing sculptures, and also those big projects like Balloon Story, for example. It's amazing to see those big scenes where combining like the styles of different balloon artists are combined into a single scene and several scenes. It's amazing. That's really really cool.
First of all, thank you. Balloon Story for me, as the art director, it's like thinking how I can take a lot of balloon artists and use each one of their qualities in this project. This is why Balloon Story, I designed it as a place with a lot of techniques combined together. We have their framings, we have Lincolns, we have distortions, we have a lot of techniques. And thank you for mentioning that. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. It's totally different kind of thing that you do there than what I'm used to doing, like always designing the things for myself, and you need to take care of the whole team. So it's a little bit different.
Definitely,
That's really
definitely.
cool.
Okay, so we are at the end of this conversation, and I want to first say that I really grateful for this interview. Thanks a lot for answering all the questions. It was very interesting, and thanks a lot for you for all the time trying to develop the next step and to help the balloon industry.
Thank you a lot. It was really really nice to have a chat. Yes,
So thanks a lot and have a great day, great week, and great year.
thank you.
See you
You
soon, my
too.
friend. See you
See you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this conversation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Here on VisionAir, we don't just talk about balloons. We talk about vision, courage, creativity, and the people who turn imagination into reality. So if this story inspired you, make sure to follow, subscribe, and stay connected. More episodes, more journeys, and more inspiration are coming soon. I'm Kobe, and this is Visionaire. See you in the next episode.